Now, governments, they're acutely aware that the media plays a powerful role, especially when it comes to shining a light on stories, well, they'd rather you not know about. With traditional journalists sometimes targeted by the state, as we heard there and in the previous report, how are activists and other pioneers getting the Palestinian story to the world? Well, with me right now is the international activist Ken O'Keefe, and you've had first-hand knowledge of this, trying to get information out, but being prevented from doing so.
Well, there's no question at all that telling the truth in this world is indeed a revolutionary act. And let us not confuse the journalists that work for what I consider to be prostituted organizations posing as news agencies such as the BBC and others. Those people cannot be put in the same category as those people who are on the ground telling the truth, uncensored, and doing their best to get that to the people. There's a huge distinction between those two. And clearly there are significant risks if you decide to expose the criminals, the major criminals of our world.
So it's not just about what you're trying to say, it's how you want to say it, and therefore you will be treated in a different way depending on your stance.
Well, there's no question. As we know, Press TV has just had its license lifted here. Why is that? So-called free and democratic society. If you tell the truth, you will find no favor with the powers that be in this world. So particularly in Palestine, if you are telling the truth and exposing the American, the European, the Israeli system and how it continues to maintain this very oppressive war criminal type of reality for the Palestinians, of course you're not going to find favor. In fact, it can be very risky. One of my friends, Mohammed Omar in Gaza, has a website, Rafah Today. He was exposing the demolitions of homes in Rafah. This is a very courageous thing to be doing in a place like Gaza. He won a prestigious award in Norway and went to receive that award, and on his way back to Palestine, he was taken in by the Israelis and beaten to the point of broken ribs and things like this. So if you wish to tell the truth, indeed you are making for a revolutionary act.
Are social networking sites, blogging, is that helping to get the story out there?
Well, there's no question at all that social networking plays a vital role in being able to expose the truth and get people together and carry out meaningful acts. However, we also need to be very well aware of the fact that some of the major social networking sites, such as Facebook, are clearly influenced in the direction of the Israeli agenda, the Zionist agenda. There is absolutely no question of this. So while we can use social networking as a tool, we also need to know what is also insidious and very destructive about these same social networking sites. Beware of the tool that we're using for sure.
When it comes to citizen journalism, activists who are trying to, as well as bear witness, also get the information out there, sometimes they become the story. Have you been in that situation when you thought, uh-oh, I hope when they tell this story they get it right, because here I am in the middle of it and I don't know if I'm going to make it?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I'm very independent myself. I know that if I'm in control of the information that I'm getting out, that there would be no filter. I find that the only way that you can really tell the truth in this world, with rare exception, and I will count Press TV in that, is to do it yourself. Unfortunately, once you count on others who are getting paid by major institutions to tell the story, it's going to be perverted. Because unfortunately, the agenda for the powers that be is to use propaganda through the major media outlets to keep people dumb, ignorant, in the dark, divided, and effectively incapable of affecting positive change. That's the whole point of propaganda, and that's exactly why truth tellers are the most dangerous people of all to the powers that be.
And in the face of this danger, how do you get the message out there, but also try and put that to one side as you go about your daily business?
Well, the internet is an amazing tool. It's something that is affecting the rising of human consciousness on a level that's never happened in human existence. This is very inspiring. There's great potential. I think the one major task that sits before us now is, rather than just telling the story, because I think if your eyes are open, then you know what's happening in Palestine, Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, in Africa, all over the world. If your eyes are open, you will know what's happening. I believe the next great challenge for us as truth tellers is to find ways to effectively unite people. We must get beyond focusing on those things that we don't agree on and start to focus on the things that we do agree on, which are the most important things of all, such as truth and justice. That is the next step for us, is to not just tell or reveal information, but to use that information to bring people together and do what we're capable of doing, because there is no doubt in my mind at all that we can affect a better world once we come together. It is the only thing standing in our way.
Bloggers, social commentators, the works. Thank you, Ken.